in what the appropriation committee is doing now is checking to see that most of the committees have done their work properly. This is just the housekeeping part. It's tedious, but now let me go to another point which you raised to do with the National Assembly budget. I made a promise.
Well, the 2017 budget.
No, the National Assembly budget.
Okay, which is quite different.
Which is quite different because you
well, now that you brought it up, you might as well talk about it.
Yeah, the National Assembly budget is an issue that's been lingering for years.
Yes.
And because in the past, or still now, people thought that there were not enough details in the National Assembly. And I promised when I became President of the Senate that in my time we will make it transparent. And so to me, we'd hope we'll have done it for 2016, but as in 2015, unfortunately, we did not settle down as a united Senate as quick as we could. And I spoke during the 2016 process that, as far as I'm concerned, the openness of the National Assembly budget is a done deal. So all the people who have joined in the conversations are really just joining on. We've already made that decision. And by the time the budget is passed in next few weeks, that will be seen to be that. It's honestly my view. It is to the advantage of the National Assembly, because when you hear statesmen like National Assembly legislators are the most paid, is because what people do, they take the budget sum and just divide the amount by all the legislators and say, based on that, this is what every legislator earned. Now, that fault, we must take part of that blame because it hasn't been transparent. By the time you see what goes to salaries of aides, what goes to management, what goes to capital, what goes to running costs, what goes to actual salary of the legislature, what goes to running his office, you will see the breakdown. And I think the commentary should start after we see the breakdown.
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt you there, but I think the issue really is the fact that it's not just the salaries. I mean, we know what the salaries are. They're fairly basic salaries.
I'm talking about the budget.
Yeah, we're talking about the allowances, the remunerations, the entire package. Now, let me just read this to you, and if it's not correct, then tell us it's not correct. According to this report, Nigerian federal legislators receive much higher salaries than their counterparts in wealthier countries, as well as key developing nations. That's according to an analysis published by the respected Economist magazine and a host of think tanks in Nigeria. The publication revealed that a Nigerian legislator receives an annual salary of $189,000, which is 116 times Nigeria's gross domestic product per person. That figure puts salaries collected by members of the Senate and the House way ahead of those received by parliamentarians in 29 countries, whose data was analyzed by The Economist, including the UK, where legislators take just over $105,000. What's your reaction to that? That is not true.
That's the point I'm making. Those figures are based on the fact that they've taken a bulk budget of 115 billion, divided it by 360 per 109, 469, and come up with a figure of $116,000. Now, by the time you see the detailed budget, that's why I said the commentaries should wait. When you see the detailed budget, you will see what is salary, you see what is allowances, you see what is cost of running the offices, you will see the cost of management, you will see the cost of legislative study, you will see the cost of the capital budget. So you will now be able to actually know how much does a legislature earn and how much he's even paid to run his office, which he has to retire. But because over the years, not now, right back, it has never been made public. People have concluded that, well, listen, if they're not going to tell us, well, I'm going to simply calculate. That's a budget. Because if you look at other countries in the US and the UK, in the US senator has about close to, I think, $1 million, $2 million to run his office. Now, nobody adds that as a salary. Now, because we've not...
So are you then saying that you get quite a lot of money to run?
No, I'm not saying that. Well, the point I'm saying is that because we've not broken down our budget
Right.
to salary...
But why haven't you broken it down?
Well, I'm not...
That's
the point.
because
And
it
the point,
raises
we're on the same side.
Right,
I've said to you that we're going to do that.
Right, but it raises a
I
fundamental
agree,
issue of transparency.
I agree with you, and that is why we've committed to do it. And I'm saying that the commentary we've made, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's less than a couple of weeks.
Well, we obviously trust what you're saying and hope that
it will happen.
actually happens.
It will
But whilst we've got you here,
Yeah.
do you get allowances for car maintenance, domestic staff, constituency work, entertainment, recess, wardrobe, many more? I mean, do you get all that?
You mix it. No.
It's a straightforward
no,
question.
we don't.
Do you get allowances?
You get your allowances, which is part of your salary. That is defined by the revenue fiscal.
So you don't get wardrobe allowance?
No, you do get a signal, but that allowance is not different from anybody else in public sector. That is not done by us.
Right.
We don't make those figures. Those figures are from the Revenue Commission, the fiscal, that does salaries for all public servants.
Right.
Now, that's aside. Then you have the budget of the National Assembly that has to do with the management, that has to do with running offices, that has to do with capital projects. Now, when you see that breakdown, which I'm sure by the time you see, people will have a better understanding. Then we can now begin to address what we think or what question any area. But for now, what has created this problem? And let me make it clear. I think we have not helped ourselves as well to put ourselves in this situation. The moment we are transparent with it, I think people have a better understanding of this.
Well, we look forward to that time. But what about something, whilst we're beating it to death here, what about